In this tutorial, we will be making this simplified, colorful watercolor streetscapes. Hi friends, I am VanidasMangathil and let us learn watercolors together. If you are new to my channel or if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. I will be releasing more and more informative tutorials every week. Without further ado, let us begin the tutorial. I am using a cold pressed watercolor paper, 100% cotton, and for drawing I am using this Uni Pen Fine Line 0.7 waterproof pen. Okay, I am making a simplified drawing. Okay, and I have used a reference photograph for this, and you can see that in the reference there is this red kind of an umbrella there, and that is the prime focus for this particular that is the prime thing that really inspired me to paint this. So I will try to give some contrast to that, whenever we paint. So let us start drawing the umbrella now, and then we will add the surroundings. Okay, so I haven't used a pencil drawing first. I am directly drawing with pen because I just got inspired to draw it directly with the pen. So if you are not confident of directly drawing with pen, you can first draw with pencil and then draw over it using pen, or you can just draw with pencil and do the watercolors. It is up to you. This is very loose drawing of this the two-wheelers, the scooters or bikes. Okay, and some shadows for that. I'm not going to paint or draw everything, only the major elements. Okay, right. Loose, if you are making mistakes, no worry. This is, I would say that this is a practice approach. Okay, so this is not something that I want very pretty, very accurate results. I want to explore it. I want to enjoy the process of painting, and I'm just being casual. Just I'm listening to whatever are the impulse or the voices that I hear from inside, and then I will try to follow that. Not a very well planned approach. I think with the loose watercolors that approach works a lot. There are something in the background, some boards and some other things, just some suggestions. Okay, and there is a car here, so I am changing the car shape, and we will be changing the colors and all. And see, the reference is used for the main inspiration and to get some main elements. We can always alter it, we can modify it, we can add additional elements, and that's kind of a photoshopping that we can do by ourselves. Okay, so I always try to do that. See, ultimately it is our interpretation, so we don't have to precisely copy the reference. Okay, if you are doing it for a commercial commission work, the things may be different. But if you are practicing it for the purpose of learning, try to alter the scene and try to add your own, narrations, your own interpretation of the scene. Okay. There are some electric pole and lamp post, etc. I am not precisely, copying it. I am just trying to, visualize it and then do it in our own way. Okay, my own way. So I haven't fast forward this. This is in real time. Okay, and some foliages for the tree and foliage there. Okay, I could have done, we could do this with pencil also. So if you want, you can draw with pencil and then draw it, or if you want to directly paint without any drawing, we can try that also. It could be challenging. You may get something totally different. You may get some interesting result. See, you should enjoy the process. As particularly in watercolor, one should enjoy the process, and then only you will get that spontaneous or some loose kind of a result. Okay. For the wash, I have used some blue color, and at the bottom area I have used little bit of burnt umber and raw sienna mix, and here I am using little bit orange, yellow, blue kind of colors to match with the sort of reference. Okay. Again, the precise colors are it is our choice. Okay, so we don't have to follow the precise colors used in the reference. If you want, of course you can. Here I am using burnt sienna and maybe a little bit of orange for the ground. Okay. So as the ground comes down, I am making it darker by adding little bit of violet to that. Burnt sienna and violet. Okay. Again, I am using a big mop brush. It's a Raphael natural hair mop brush number 6. Okay. This is the umbrella. So we can see I am making all these lighter colors first. Okay, and then I will be adding the surrounding darker colors, and I'll be adding more definitions to this umbrella, the shadows and all those things. Right now we are only filling with the lighter colors and the major shapes and lighter colors. That is the approach that we are going for. Darker touches will be done later. For the car, in the reference it is not this kind of a color. I have used some cerulean blue for the car. And for the foliage area, I am wetting some area first, wetting with water, and then I am again using a smaller mop brush, and I am applying large washes, okay, big washes for the foliage. I am not really worried about there are lots of shape on the reference. If you look at the foliages in the reference, there are a lot of things, but here I am just trying to do some large volumes. Okay, I am using darker tones. So the colors I used for the foliages mainly are olive green and some ultramarine blue, little bit of burnt sienna, and for these darks I have also added some Payne's grey. Okay. Some of the foliages are seen on top of the boards, so signboards and whatever it is. Okay. So some of the foliages are here and there. Okay. The boards are not the primary element, focal element, so we will diffuse it later. The focal element is that red umbrella, and we will add some people also underneath that. Practice these foliages. See, whatever we are doing here, let it be the foliages, let it be the two-wheelers which we are going to do, or the cars, or the electric pole. You please practice it standalone on separate sheets and gain confidence. Okay. So then if you are confident in making electric poles and cables hanging around, then you can use it confidently in any scenes. Okay. So you have to practice individual elements maybe separately and then in simple scenes. This is sort of a negative painting to clarify some of these main elements. Okay. Right. Some distant foliages, slightly lighter tones. Okay. It is not as dark as the larger foliages that we have defined now, and maybe we can soften some of these edges. Okay. I think that's it. Splashing some water to create texture. You may not see the textures now, but after some time you will find that due to these splashes, droplets, the pigments will be pushed down and you will get some interesting textures. So I'm using my fingers to smudge some of these colors, okay, because I don't want hard edges for sharp contrast for many of these. Okay. Right, I think this much is sufficient. Now on the car rear glass there are some darker shadows, so we are making it, we are defining those things. Okay, so we are gradually building up the volume of the car. Okay, now let us paint something on the surrounding. There is a kind of a compound wall at a distance, so I am making some compound wall with burnt sienna and little bit of violet and maybe little bit of orange, red. I mean, I can't precisely tell what color it is because it all depends upon what is there on the palette. So we already had burnt sienna, violet sort of colors mixed, which we have used for the ground. So I am adding little bit of red and orange etc. to that mix to make it little, I mean, interesting. I think the compound wall looks reasonably good enough. What next? We need to now see, we are gradually building up each and every element. Now let us make the shadows falling on top of the umbrella. Okay, some darker reddish touches. Okay, it is the same kind of a color that we have used for the compound wall, and on top of the red orange umbrella. If you are finding this as informative and if you are finding it useful, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. I'll be uploading interesting informative tutorials in every week. The current plan is thrice a week. Okay, that might change going forward, but as of now I'm uploading 3 days a week. So please do subscribe and press the bell notification, and please give me some feedback, comments. Okay, please write some comments giving the feedback, or if you have any questions, please ask them into the comment box so that I know how I get the feedback and I can improve the quality of the videos, and I can also answer to your questions. Okay, so please do comment, and you may also share it to your artist friend who might also find it useful. Right, now the car is getting little bit more clarity in its volume. We have the darker touches, and we will then later add the wheels to the car, and then it will be more clear. Now let us define the motorbikes, the scooty or whatever it is. Here I am only looking for some kind of a light and shadow pattern. Okay, I am not precisely defining the bikes. It's an overall shape of a series of bikes. I mean, a couple of bikes parked there. And primarily I am only worried about the light and shadow kind of a pattern. Okay, very loose representation. This is not the prime focal element. Okay, of course it adds to the interest, but it is not focal element. I am adding some opaque touches here because I wanted to diffuse some of these things, and I wanted to make it look busy without putting lot of effort. Okay, that is the idea. So some of these opaque touches, which contains a sort of white, blue, violet kind of a color, and that kind of mixes together, flows down. Because it is opaque, it is little heavy, and it mixes to the surrounding colors, and it overall kind of creates being busy, being crowded. Okay, I think that much is good for the bikes. We may add some darker accents and all later, but as of now I think we have defined it reasonably in a convincing way. See, here nothing is precise, everything is kind of suggestive, and we wanted to make it little convincing. That's it. Shadows for a series of bikes parked there. Okay, now little bit of darker shadows, and yeah, these lines kind of helps in getting the depth. Okay, it pushes the umbrella farther away, and it gives a sense of distance. Okay, sense of depth. I'm using a liner brush for all these line works. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we will continue developing this. We need some shadows under the umbrella, so I am making some darker touches, and primarily it is a kind of a purple color by mixing crimson and Prussian blue and occasionally some Payne's grey. But you can use whatever color that can give some dark purple sort of a color there. Okay. Some smudging. I always tend to smudge some of the elements to create some kind of a drama there, some kind of a, illusion. Okay. This is a kind of a lavender color. It's not precisely lavender. You can mix a little bit of blue and maybe some kind of red and some white. It is a little bit opaque color. Okay, so I tend to use a little bit of opaque color for these kind of maybe the figures, some of the highlights on the bikes. We used a little bit of opaque colors, but it is not compromising on the transparency of the overall watercolor. Okay, so we have to still. If at all you are using opaque colors, it should be very minimal. Okay. Now the wheels and shadows for the car, which will give a lot of clarity. Shadows are very important. Okay, so particularly for the vehicles, shadows are very important. Shadows help in creating an illusion that the vehicle or the object is firmly connected to the ground. Okay. We are adding a couple of more figures. The figures are already drawn, so I am just coloring it now. Okay. And the color, the figures are not precise, but overall shape and the overall body movement, that is what I am looking for. Okay. Some part of the shadow on the car also. Some figures with darker colors because they are under the shadow of the umbrella. Okay. Occasionally the board is shaking a little bit, so you may find the paper moving a little bit here and there. Okay. I think we are good as of now. Okay, a lot of things are now clarified. We have a number of figures under the umbrella. We have some figures outside, and we have the car and the shadows. Okay, some darker tail lamps for the car, and some red colors for the figures for their faces. Because they are in the shadow, I am putting dark red color there. For the figures who are outside, I will be adding orange touches. Okay. Some tail lamps for the vehicles and the bikes, and little bit of orange to the exposed body part for the figure. Okay. See, this is very suggestive figures. Okay, they are not very precise figures, but they convey the meaning, they convey the movements. That is what we are looking for. Okay. This again is very thick pigment, not diluted. It's watercolor, but directly taken from the tube. Okay. Yeah. Some highlights for those figures. Okay. It's again some red mixed with a touch of white. Okay. And we will also give some white highlight for the nearby people. Some highlight with the pure white, watercolor white. See, it will bring out the figures and it will add more contrast to the figures, and it will also make it more lively. Okay. right? Most of the things we are done with, and what we need now, mainly what is left out is the electric pole. So okay, let us do the electric pole now. I am using a liner brush, thick pigment. It's a kind of dry brush work. Practice this kind of dry brush works, and you can get better at that. Okay, I'm not very happy with the electric pole, but overall it is okay. I mean, it is getting the kind of illusion. Okay, that is what I am interested in. Be casual, be loose. Okay, and some roll of cables. See, it is not very neatly organized. A lot of cable rolls and some cables moving here and there. Okay, so those are some typical chaotic kind of electric poles that you see in some of the streetscapes. Okay, so I think we are pretty much done. We can sign it now. Okay, so whenever you are in doubt whether we need to add more, just go and sign it. So that will give you kind of a feeling that it is done. We can call it as done. Okay, so I think we have reasonably narrated the scene in a convincing way, in a suggestive way. And thank you so much for staying with me and being with me with the tutorial. Please do practice. Please do practice a lot, and these things, particularly the simplification and the suggestive details, they don't come over a week or over couple of practice. Okay, it needs a lot of practice. Please do practice, and if you have any question, please do write them into the comment box below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe and press the bell notification. We will soon meet you in another interesting tutorial. Thank you very much, and happy painting.